Hey everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, and welcome back to Satisfactory. I have wandered over to this area. Whoop! This area right here. Not the locomotive. Well, it's not going to show it because the train's right there. But we are over at the West Station. Right where all the oil is. There's oil here. I figured in today's episode we needed to start working on trying to get these aluminum sheets, and there is a lot of stuff involved. Let me hit escape real quick so I can open up my notepad file. Let's see here. So to make these Alcad sheets, you need 8 aluminum ingots and 3 copper ingots. That's not too bad. I think, let's see here. Is it V? Which one is the stinking... No? W? Not X? You gotta be kidding me. There it goes. I have to hold it. There is copper somewhere right around here. Wait for that to show up. But to make the aluminum ingot, that's the difficult part. Wait, how far are you? What? Oh, there's some right there. I guess we could bring it up this way. That might not be too bad. But this aluminum ingot, you have to have 7 silica, 12 aluminum scrap. The silica's not too bad. We can make it from quartz. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and scan for quartz while we're waiting. I think there's quartz nearby as well. But the aluminum scrap, 4 alumina solution, petroleum coke. So petroleum coke we're going to make from right here. The alumina solution is bauxite and water. How far away is that? Oh, that's up here. Yikes. Okay. Wait, where did that appear? Oh, that's right. I have to back out and then zoom back in. Okay, so we've got some quartz way up here as well. Let's see. Where is... I keep hitting the wrong button. Where's bauxite? I kept thinking there was bauxite around here as well. We might have to... make certain components here and then move stuff on to another area. Oh, that found quite a bit. Oh, nice. We've got some bauxite there, some bauxite there. Okay, so we can bring in the copper ingots and the silica. So that won't be too bad. But to make the petroleum coke, you have to have heavy oil residue, which comes from, let's see here, crude oil goes up to one of these refineries. Oh, I won't run up there. You'll see in a minute. But the refineries, you can make stuff like plastic or rubber, and the stuff that comes out from the oil will be the rubber or plastic, but it's also this heavy oil residue stuff. So right here we have a pure node of crude oil. I want to say there's a pure node right over there, and then right over there is a regular. So altogether that gives us 600 square milliliters. I think that's how it's... Let's go over here and look. It's like M cubed, M3. 240 cubic meters per minute. But altogether, it's 600. So an area right here for making some stuff I thought would be a good idea. We're going to try and do like a multi-purpose factory right here in this spot. And just get right up here. There's so much of this stuff I still need to tear up and tear down. See, I've been making rubber pieces right here. This refinery. See, it gives off this heavy fluid and that. And then if we select a different recipe, the petroleum coke is going to take that. See the purple stuff down there? Oh, that's cool. I never know it. You could hear it bubbling. But another thing that we can make is this residual fuel. Because that fuel, if I hit the right button, we're going to dump into a fuel generator and start making a whole bunch more power. So what I'm thinking about doing is right here in this area, we're going to bring up oil. We're going to freeze the game. We're going to bring up oil. We're going to use it to make a rubber and plastic sheet factory. and then that fluid coming off, we're going to convert some of it into fuel so that we will have fuel for our jetpack constantly instead of having to make it by hand, because we can use the rubber things to make these tanks and whatnot, and then convert this stuff into fuel. That fuel can also go to a power station. I'm not quite sure where we might do. I might do the factory right here. One of these islands, either that island or that island, we might make it the power station. I just want to kind of have things modular and separate from each other, just so it's a little bit easier to kind of like figure out how things work and what they are. I don't know. We're going to kind of experiment with it as we build. But then the other stuff we're going to have to do is make that, let's see here, I'll just type it in, petroleum coke, this stuff. Because this stuff is going to be what's going to help us start making the aluminum solution. So what we might do is use this area right here to make the coke, and then send it on its way. Hello, bubbling crude. And that's what this is about. Isn't that cool? I know it doesn't look like much right now, but excuse me, one of the ideas I had was I want to make a conveyor system that follows the train tracks up above the train tracks. This conveyor system is going to move things around the entire map. And so like right here where we make rubber and plastic pieces, if we need those for something, we're going to send them on that conveyor system and send it off somewhere else. So right here we're going to make petroleum coke. We're going to send that petroleum coke over to where that bauxite was at. Boop. We'll wait for it. I bet it's up in them hills. We'll see if it'll like do a ping for us. Oh, it's up. It's over that direction. I don't know if it's up or not. Let's see here and zoom in and see if we can see. Yeah, look, see how it's... So either it's underneath something right here, or it's way up on top. One or the other. But we can set up some miners right here, and that's going to collect bauxite, and we can send that bauxite. Was it the copper right here? Let's check one more time, because here's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of copper nodes around. But what we might be able to do... Oh, no, hit the wrong button again. So we got the bauxite right in here. And I think the copper was right up here. Zoom out a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so we have a copper node right here by the train line. So what we could do is send the petroleum coke this way. We could collect the bauxite and send it this way and grab some... oh, you know what? We've got copper right here as well. We could put copper onto the line. We could bring this stuff over here and bring... Oh, my gosh. So many choices. Oh, my gosh. But we are going to need access to water. So it might make sense to build it somewhere right in this here general vicinity. Maybe send the stuff this way. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the whole plan, what we're going to try and do with this area. What I started doing was, the first thing is I went ahead and set up all three oil factories, sending the oil. I turned this one around. I've got it pointing this way now. We're going to send all the oil to this single central collection point. And I'm trying to make things where they kind of line up. You can see that the foundations around the oil factory lines up with the refiner, or not the refiner, but the drill itself. And we're going to go ahead and erase those. We'll erase that as well, because what's going to end up happening is these pipes are going to come to this central foundation. These foundations line up with this, which lines up with the train tracks, which is awesome. So that way I can build some kind of a thing right here that maybe comes out over here, and there'll be like a giant catwalk right here. So what I've got to do is calculate. I got to calculate 600 milliliters. Let's see, can we fly over? I love this jetpack. 600 milliliters of oil coming in here. It's 30 a minute to make... oh, it's that. I'm like, why is my mouse not moving? It's 30 a minute to make plastic, And what was it to make rubber? It's 30 a minute to make rubber. Oh, it's going to start making rubber. Turn it off. There we go. So either way, it's going to be 30 a minute. So at 600, that's... Oh, I'm like, what is that weird sound? So that is 20 of these refineries just to deal with the oil, which is going to give us a whole lot of rubber and plastic sheets. And I've been watching a few other videos of people doing stuff, trying to come up with some ideas about what do you do when you have all this excess of material. And they had a really awesome idea that once I actually start building it, the fact that it's an awesome idea will start to make sense. Trixie Piggy being Trixie. So I'm going to go ahead and work on trying to get a bunch of these refinery things built and set up over here, trying to get some kind of a logistics idea and logic going and whatnot. And then I'll bring you back and we're going to explore how I've got this set up and how we're going to try and make these Alcad sheets. And you might ask yourself, Piggy, what are you doing starting way over here? Well, I'm looking at that Caterium node right there that I still haven't done anything with. And there is some more research we can do with Caterium. So I really need to get on it. I'm wondering if maybe we put a miner right here and then run it over to this area. Or maybe set up some platforms right in here. Because basically all we're having to do is smelt it and turn it into ingots. And then from ingots we'll figure out what to make from it. And need some kind of smeltery system right here. But speaking of smeltery systems, look at this. Now, I can't help myself, okay? I've done oh, I never noticed the train had a little engine noise that's sitting there running. All right, come on, train. Let's get a move on. Some ways that kind of makes me think of the Matrix, just like the sounds of it and the technology, the way it looks. But yeah, look at this. I'll go ahead and just stop here for a second. We don't really need to get out. It's pretty simple. There is a pure node of copper right there, and I've got a Mark II miner, and I've got 16 smelters. Now, the reason why I did 16 smelters is because I know we're going to be able to eventually upgrade this miner to one more level. And so I went ahead and made enough smelters to handle the system whenever we're going to maximize the amount of... Oh, you saw some ingots move along. Yep, there's something being done that's using those things. Let's go ahead and move along here, and I'll explain to you what in the world I did. So I've been playing this game between clips for about a week. And I have figured out that unless you're live streaming, there is a lot of stuff to do on this game that you really can't record an episode of. It's very tedious. Like, look at all these upper areas, balconies, walkway, whatever you want to call it, thing that I've built. That took a long time. Running back and forth to the main base to get more concrete as things would run out. Stuff like that. You can't film that. You can't film that kind of stuff, Piggy. It's boring. And then over here we got the refinery. So I know there's a couple of y'all that have put in the comments you wished I would show more on-camera building and just playing. But like I said, it's very tedious. I guess if I was an expert player, then it would be a whole lot easier to build a lot of stuff on camera. But a lot of this stuff I had to do math and just kind of figure out how things were. We're going to come up to this station and stop, and I'm going to show you what we got going on. You can see we got all kinds of stuff being sent up to the catwalk. Uh-oh, overshot just a little bit. That's okay. We'll hop out here. Thank you, train. We shall be back momentarily. So we still got the oil refinery going right here. And one oil refinery going over there. And for the... Oh. If I hold down the button, watch. Woo, we get this cool jump. If you see autosave going and you've got your jetpack going, sometimes it'll fling you way up in the air. Oh, it's over on the other side. That's where it is. Okay. I knew that we had 3 refineries going on over here. So there's the third one. Ooh, these things are noisy. So one thing I kept trying to play with was the idea of how do you make the factories look really cool and layouts and everything. And I got to the point where I was wasting so much time because I don't know everything about the game yet. I don't understand how things work. So I just went ahead and made it functional. Made it where I could walk around and use stuff. So what we've got going on here is a system where we're sending oil, crude oil, into this pipe system. Now, I know the pipes can only handle so much fluid at a time, but what I've done is I've gone ahead and attached everything to, what is it? I think it's 8 refineries per factory. Let me get over where I can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 20 refineries going on right here that's doing nothing but converting crude oil. Now, and I'm going to walk on the other side of this so you can see as we come back, but I've got the crude oil being converted into several things. So we've got the heavy oil residue, but we're also making stuff at the same time. What are we making? Where is it? Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is. So I've got rubber mats coming out the front, and I have got these blue plastic pieces coming out the front. But I split these plastic into 2 directions. I've got plastic going that way, because look what's coming back this way. Ho ho ho, yes sirree. Bunch of crazy animals running around here. Alright, so we've got the heavy fluid stuff coming over here, and then it gets sent to these 2 machines, and it gets sent down that way. So, or these 3 machines. So these 3 machines are converting it into fuel. So we're making fuel, and this one we're making the petroleum coke. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So petroleum coke, which is getting sent back that way, which we'll follow in a moment. And these 2 are making fuel. Now, why do I have petroleum coke going this way? What are you doing, Piggy? Oh, we're making. Wait, what in the world's going on here? I've got petroleum coke, and I don't have it being sent anywhere. Piggy, did you mess stuff up again? 1. Oh no, it's coming out this way. Silly me. It's just that the petroleum coke's not being used fast enough, so it's kind of sitting there. Okay, that makes sense. But basically, I've got these 2 machines refining it to fuel. We're also sending, looks like, some more heavy oil residue over this way. But we've got our fuel lines running back over this way. And we're splitting it to do 2 different things. So I have got, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 fuel. What are they? Fuel generators. Well, everything's noisy. So fuel generators, 150 megawatts each. So we're making 1,500 megawatts, but we're also making a bunch of other stuff over here. And then this fuel's being sent over here. Plastic is being converted into empty canisters. Canisters are going in here, and we're making fuel. So let's just go ahead and follow the fuel back. Oh, get over here. I've still yet to go over and get that stuff. So the fuel, rubber mats, petroleum coke, and plastic are the 4 items, well, and fuel. So there's 5 items being, well, 6 if you count the energy that's being made here. We have 6 items being made here. Just love all this cool stuff. So what I've got going on from here is we're going to send the petroleum coke up to the conveyor system, and I'm sending the plastic up to the conveyor system, which leaves this runoff. Right now, I'm not using rubber mats or fuel. Every once in a while, I'll come over here and I'll just stand here. Oh, missed those. And I'll grab some fuel as I need it. But to keep the system going and to keep it from locking up, because in Minecraft you could just like filter out things. Oh, I think I picked up rubber mats. Let's get away from that. Oh, there goes that save. But in Minecraft you could like filter stuff out and then toss it into lava or something and destroy it. In this game you can't do that. Except here. This is a box of lava. So we're just dumping stuff in the awesome sink. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This thing's been running in the background all week while I've been working. I've managed to accumulate 56 coupons. Or coupons, as some would say in the South. Coupons. We're rolling in coupons. So eventually I'm going to divert the fuel and the rubber mats to go up to there. We'll go up there in just a second. I'm going to show you what's going on. We've got these going up there, and those are getting sent off to... Uh-oh. Did it work? Did I... Oh, get up there. Whoa. halfway up, I realized usually I stand on top of one of those refiner things and then fling myself up here. So let's go ahead and go up here. It's a good thing I got a little bit more fuel in my backpack, right? I'm going to jump up here. And then usually from this train, I can springboard myself up and we can go up here. So we have got this little system going on. Go ahead and jump up here. Boop. Oh, why'd that throw me backwards? That's really strange. Okay. But yeah, we've got the petroleum coke and the rubber coming up here, and then I also have conveyor lines for copper ingots, and then this one's empty, but as we get further along, it's actually picking up bauxite. I found some nodes and some creatures. These nodes are way up there on top of the cliff, and you can kind of make out right there. We'll see it as we go by with the train, but I've got bauxite. Now, I know what you're saying, like, Piggy, this is empty. Why do you have this over here? Well, because eventually what I want to do is I want to make these conveyor lines where on the right side goes all the way around, facing this way. And on this other side, which I haven't built, it'll be going that way. So basically we can send materials in two different directions based off of where we need it and what's closest by. Now, also, you might be asking, well, why in the world don't you just send everything to a central location like you've been doing and build all your stuff there? Well, for two reasons. One, as I build stuff and realize I need more things, I start having to build on top of things, and it becomes an absolute mess. But the other thing is, this game, if you put too much stuff in one area, the game will start to lag out. Like, you'll lose frame rates like crazy. See, there's the bauxite line coming down there. Oh, excuse me. And I got to get rid of. Oh man, got something stuck in my throat. Got to get rid of those two platforms. I've been adding a few more legs as I go, so it's starting to look a little bit more like it's actually a real structure and it's being held up. But I figured, you know, we'll bring materials to this central line, and then we will distribute them to certain areas. That was a weird noise, little glitch. Where we got stuff going on that needs to be constructed. So, right over here to the right, actually kind of right over in there, is two pure nodes of iron. So what I want to do there is set up a thing that's going to make screws for me, and we're going to send it kind of close over to the water. I'm going to bring all my factories close to the edge right here. And we're going to send copper and plastics down to it, and that is going to let us make computers. So I'm going to make a computer factory over there. We're just going to keep going a little bit. Come on, train. Pick up that speed. Now, I'm also trying to make all these systems where they run constantly, and anything that's not being used goes straight into an awesome sink for two reasons. One, I don't get these crazy fluctuations in power where when I use up materials, machines turn on and we get a spike, and then we overload the system because I didn't do the math right. And the second thing is that we're constantly dumping stuff we're not using into awesome sinks to make more coupons. For the life of me, I have no idea if you get some kind of achievement if you buy one of each thing with coupons, but we're gonna try and go for it. See what happens. So we're coming up right over here. I found some quartz deposits, kind of inland a little bit, but there was a lot of water over here, and we needed water for this to make these aluminum ingots for the Aluma solution. And I got to thinking about it. Why spend a bunch of energy pumping water upwards or fluids upwards? Just build stuff down at level where the fluids are and let the natural head lift of the machines do the work for you. And then you don't have to waste a whole bunch of extra energy on all these different pumps. Let's go ahead and slow down. This thing's been running for just a little while, so we should have some aluminum sheets ready to go. Go ahead and jump out here, get where I'm safe. Alright, so you can see we're sending plastic and copper ingots down. Over there we're sending bauxite and the petroleum coke. And I got that stuff up there. It's kind of ugly. I'll get rid of it eventually, but it's just there. So, oh, look at it go. Oh, it's making stuff now. But yeah, as I get stuff kind of finished off, I'll clean up my scaffolding. We're going to go ahead and hop down here. There we go. So I've got two water pumps feeding, each water pump is feeding two of these, what are these, refineries? Oh yeah, okay. So we've got refineries, which are bringing in water and bauxite. And that's going to make our alumina solution. Now I'm bringing the stuff out the front. We get alumina solution, and as a byproduct, we get silica. Every once in a while you'll see, I think we've kind of saturated the system, and so you can see the silica bags actually coming out over there. There we go. You can see those silica going. So we get silica from the system. There's some. But we also get this alumina solution. So from there, I send the alumina solution over here to this refiner. And I'm also introducing the petroleum coke. We bring that over here. So that comes in here, and we get aluminum scrap, and we get water as a byproduct. So from here, kind of fly up to this spot. From here, I send the aluminum scrap over to the foundry. And we kind of reuse stuff, and I've also got a system set up where we never get anything backed up. So the silica that we make as a byproduct comes over here and gets sent to this splitter. But at the same time, you can see I've found quartz inland, so we're converting it. Let me fly up a little bit and you can see it. See that long conveyor line? We're creating silica right there with 3 constructors. Probably could use a few more constructors, but I think we're good for now. But yeah, what happens is all this silica gets merged, and right here it gets split. So that silica goes in there, and the overflow silica gets sent that way. Now at the same time, the water that's a byproduct, I'm sending it to this machine right here that's taking, we're taking some plastic sheets, we're making containers, empty containers, and then from here we're making packaged water. So whatever water overflow, we're turning it into packaged water and then sending it over here. It gets merged with the silica and gets sent to an awesome sink. So I've tried to rig this in a certain way where anything that overflows that could back up the system, if we can get it to go into an awesome sink, we're going to do that. So that way all these machines continuously run. So now the only thing that's going to back this machine up, look at how many Alcad sheets we got going on in here. Oh my gosh. Look at that. We are rolling in the sheets. Yes, we are. So as this thing fills up, it's going to back up this. As that backs up, it'll proliferate, it'll cascade, and it'll back the entire thing up until the whole thing shuts down because we don't need any more. But if I pull any of those sheets out, this thing will be rearing to go, and it'll just whoop, kick right back on. So yeah, that's what's going on over here. My gosh, a lot of stuff. But like I said, trying to figure all this out and build it off camera was hours of work. I figured it would just be easier to show you what I've got set up and going on. And if anything, even if you're playing along, maybe you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but you can see the theory behind how I've got things set up. That might help you move ahead a little bit as far as you won't have to work out the theory. I can show you the theory behind it, then maybe you can come up with an even cooler way to build stuff. So now this thing is just an absolute mess. It's non-expandable. Like if I find out that I need more sheets and I need more stuff out of this, I'll probably have to tear it down and rebuild it, reconfigure it. But you can see that for now, I think we're doing good. And these aluminum sheets, let's check and see. I never can remember which darn button. Tab? No. Why all of a sudden can I not remember? There we go. The highest speed conveyor belt, which is 780 items per minute, uses Alcad sheets. Now I'm kind of stuck between, like right now I'm building these where I think they max out. Oh, here we go again. Push the wrong button, wrong button. I think right now, yeah, I'm using the beams. So it can carry 270 resources per minute. And for a lot of stuff that I'm manufacturing, that seems to be pretty reasonable. It just keeps going. Look at that craziness. But I think as we move along and I get to the point where there's some more items that need to move faster or something like that, we might use these Alcad sheets. But you can see in the upper right hand corner, we need 200 of these So that's going to get us that. I've got motors, and I think we've got these advanced box things being built. But this computer, that's what I still need to do. And it looks like I've got a few more minutes for this episode. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and climb up here. Get on the refinery, and then we'll fly up here. I probably need to put a hypertube thing. Although, you know what? Eventually this won't be a stop. This will be its own little thing. So, oh, and I'm running low on fuel. So I'm going to go and hop in this train. So I'm going to hop in the train. Night's falling, but that works just fine because I'm almost at the end of this clip. I'm going to drive back over to that area where I've got that iron deposit. I'm going to go ahead and set up a thing to build myself some computers. You've already seen that. That's old hat. We know how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get some computers built up, and then we're going to collect those computers. Look at that, a sea of purple. Prince would be so happy. It's like Purple Rain's been out here. We're going to get all that stuff gathered up and ready to go, and then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves an advancement done for the end of this episode, right? So you just sit tight, hang on just a moment. We'll meet back over at the computer factory, and then we'll go back to base, and we'll get ourselves an advancement. You know, it's really weird. I've got the music turned down on this game, but it sounds like this area gives off some kind of musical sound in the atmosphere. It's real subtle, but I kind of hear something. It's really strange. Anyway, let's take a look and see what mess I've created. Hop on up here. Conveyor belt, you just stay there. Not that it's going to go anywhere anyway. Let's go and just hop up here. See, you can really hear it up here where it's a little quieter. That's crazy. Anyway, so this is what we got going on. Bit of a mess. And as I started building this stuff, I realized, you know what? The amount of time that I'm giving myself to do these things, I need to, like, shift gears a little bit. You know, we need to sit here and do this while I'm talking. I'll tell you my idea while I'm working on this. But I'm thinking maybe I need to shift gears just a tad and maybe work on trying to get stuff built and automated and not worry so much about like having really, really nice looking structures and whatnot, and work on that later. So what my approach right now is, these areas are going to be specific to certain things that need to be built. Like right here, we're needing to build computers. So I've got all the stuff, all the materials coming in to help support building the computers. And anything that's overflow, anything left over from the process, goes ahead and gets sent to that area. Now, what I'm also kind of contemplating is maybe eventually what we could experiment with is creating all the basic items like screws, rods, plates, ingots, things like that. Create those in mass and send those to this distribution system that goes around the map. And then at certain areas create factories that build certain items, and then those items get spat back over to the distribution system. And so that way we've got all the materials being shared around the map, and each area is kind of specific to making items, something like that. Because I've seen people make factories kind of like this, not like this, not this big of a mess, a little bit better organized and whatnot, but they try to make like everything that's needed in one area, and they have way cooler ideas and way more efficient designs. But basically up there I'm making I've got the iron being spat up, and from a pure node, so 240 a minute right now with a Mark II. We are smelting it, we're turning it into iron rods, and then half of those are being turned into screws and are being sent over here. And then in this spot right here, we're converting copper to wire to cable, and then to copper sheets. And let's see, the copper sheets are then taking the plastic on these three, I think they're called constructors, and we're making the circuit boards. So all that stuff is coalescing to this point right here, where we've got plastic being split right here. We got circuit boards and cable and screws. All this stuff to make 2.5 computers per minute, which is kind of slow, but you know, it is what it is. And then, like I said, all the overflow, all the leftover stuff. Oh, there goes that save lag. We've got cables, sheets, screws, and computers being sent out. Now, the iron rods and iron ingots probably could be as well. But like I said, maybe as I get higher up to closer to the end of the tiers, and we kind of discover all the different materials there are and the different uses for them, and maybe even start getting alternate recipes, that's where we can start looking at alternate ways to making materials more efficiently and localized areas. Let's hop, skip, and jump over here, because this is the bottleneck now. Computers. We've got 67 of them. I need how many we need? 150. So what is that? 75 would be halfway. So I'm almost halfway. But I did make 150 of these. And what I did with this was I went back over to the base, calculated all the materials I'd need, put it in my inventory, went over to craft, and then I took a television remote and stuck it on my spacebar and walked away and did some chores. And just let this thing auto-craft. So auto-crafting in this game is possible. Let me go just condense those down a little bit. You just got to be crafty about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing create some more computers. I'm going to create some more of these so that we can have enough, and then we'll go back over to the base and I'll get 300 of those motors. So give me just a moment. We're going to run some more of this stuff and get the rest of our computers, and we're going to meet back over at the base and go ahead and accept the next tier that's available to us, the advanced aluminum production. I'm just going to sit up here and listen to this music, and I'll meet you back over at the base in just a minute. Alright, went in, came back over here. Oh, don't you lag out on me. You get up there. Oh, I'm running low on fuel. I'll have to fix that pretty soon. Let's go ahead and run up here. Went in, came back, and got the motors. I think we're good to go. Boy, I can't wait to get rid of all that mess. An unsightly eyesore, I must tell you. So let's go ahead and get our advancement. All that. Boop. Awesome.
Milestone reached. Advanced aluminum parts can now be produced, which are necessary to build the miner Mark III.
Yes.
Batteries can be used as a fuel source for vehicles.
I salute you. Now take off. Thank you. Let's go ahead and... Oh, not active. Milestone. Oh, save lag. Okay. Hazmat suit. Nuclear power. Here's the stinkers thing. We have to do these to move up to tier 8. I'm really kind of like on the fence about, do I want to do nuclear power? Let's see here. So we do need to... Oh, we'll need to set up Caterium. I do have most of these materials, though, so we should be able to take care of that. Pod will be back in 14 minutes. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and select that milestone so we can get it taken care of. And then, once that's done, we can start focusing on this. What do we need? What are these two things? High-speed connector, AI limiter. Are those new things that we got? AI? No? Maybe... Let's do limiter. What? How am I supposed to... Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of something. Haha. AI limiter. And there's other stuff here. Ooh, what are these? Blade runners? There's a whole bunch of Caterium stuff I need to focus on as well. Because look, we've got Power Poles Mark II. A smart splitter looks interesting. Might be able to put multiple items on a conveyor belt and then split it. Something like that. So that might be interesting to do. Alright, so I might have to work on getting Caterium going as well. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and check what are the new stuffs. Look at that. Miner Mark III. Oh, buddy, oh, buddy. So we're going to need 5 turbo motors. How does one make a turbo motor? Turbo motor needs 4 heat sinks, 2 radio control units. Radio control unit enhances and directs radio signals. I think that's something else we haven't built. Oh man, there's all kinds of stuff. Let's see here. What else? No. Correct buttons. Correct buttons, Peggy. Okay, so do we have anything new in power? No. Anything in logistics? Organization. Well, what did this thing actually give us? Let's go over here and check. Select milestone. Advanced aluminum. A Miner Mark III. Oh, okay. It let us build heat sinks, turbo motors, and batteries. So let's check every letter except the one we need. Heat sink. Oh, that's not bad. Look, I have something to use rubber for now. Okay. Alcad sheets and rubber. So we can do that. And battery. What does it take? I bet it's Alcad sheets and something else. Plastic, sulfur, wire, and Alcad. Okay, awesome. Yes, I can already tell with this routing system we got going on here, I may very quickly here have to like stop how I'm routing that stuff over there and kind of rethink it so that we're able, like I was saying, so we're able to gather materials, send them to a centralized location, and then route the stuff around. Yeah. And I do need to start looking at, see, I don't want to tear this stuff down yet because I don't have the support to replace these items if I tear everything down, because this place has given me a lot of materials to build with and work with, but I do need to slowly start thinking about reconfiguring factories in other areas so that we can start tearing this down and building the actual thing that I wanted to build here. All in due time, right? Awesome, but we did make some progress. I need to work on Caterium for next episode. That is definitely a feather that needs to be put in our cap so that we can move forward. But if you enjoyed this episode, please click that like button. If you want to see more of these as I release them, you're not already subscribed? What are you doing? Go ahead and click subscribe. I'll step aside. I won't get in your way. And if you want to be notified when any new videos come out, go and click the notification bell as well. Like I said, I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more planning, figuring out how I want to route stuff. I'm going to try and let that autosave just shut the game down. There we go. Try and get that Caterium up and going so we can start doing stuff with that. Oh, buddy, we might be doing Miner Mark IIIs really, really soon, which will be awesome. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Satisfactory. Pew, 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 pew.